Okay, let me know if you can hear me. Sorry for the slight delay, but we are ready to go. Let me know if you can hear me, and I'll get started. Just need to get the stream going. Can you hear me out there? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, good. Thanks, Alan. 1 minute, we'll be cracking. Okay. All right, welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus, the 20-year auction. My name is Lee Goldstein, the trading director at 10 Minute Trades. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. All the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures. Trade carefully, please. And let's get started with the 20-year. Just get our, everything is set. So let's get our news going. So what I do is I integrate investing.com. I use their website to watch the news as it gets released. They're very good about releasing it simultaneously with the real news. In other words, their website is very tapped in to the news. It's way quicker. If you're trying to watch it on TV, don't bother because it's not going to work. And I'm going to be looking at ZN, I believe, and I'm going to be looking at YM0924. I was doing some experimenting this morning, so let me set my accounts to scratch. So we have two setups for the 20 year. And I was saying this morning, I just want to make sure that our stream is working. I said this morning I was not happy and have not been happy with the way these bond auctions have not been paying us as of late. They have not been performing well. The YM has been stopping us out, whether it's the 7 year or the 10 year or the 30 year. They've definitely been struggling. I mean, I believe they've been struggling a little bit more in the prop accounts because some of the data feeds sometimes struggle with the burst that we get from the bond pop or drop. So, nevertheless, it's not changing the issue of the fact that the bond reports, they're not paying us well. I mean, look, if the report is not paying us well, then we need to do something else. We don't need to trade these reports every month over and over when they're really a tremendous struggle. The bond part has been extremely difficult. We haven't had a really good bond move since April. And I'm just not willing to put up with it any longer. That's the truth. So I'll trade the YM. I'm like Einstein, I'm expecting the same thing to continue, the same behavior over and over and over. What's the word? You expect the same thing to happen over and over and over when it never happens once, or I don't know, whatever. I'm no Einstein, that much we know. All right? I'm a Goldstein, not an Einstein. What can I tell you? All right. So let's look at the DMM. We have two setups. I don't, for myself, I am not going to trade in my prop account. I'm not going to trade the bond portion because I think we will have a better chance of getting a better fill trading bonds in our cash account. Now, this report, in theory, has been working okay. You could see that there's four winners out of six. But if you look at the size of the reactions, you've got a three tick bracket, you've got one tick of slippage. If it moves eight ticks, you're lucky if you could get one or two ticks of profit. And that's my whole point. It's been 3 months since there's been a move bigger than nine ticks. All right. So we don't think about the earnings we got up for. They were nice little moves. Everybody made money on them, and it wasn't hard either. There's other trades. That's my whole point. So let me set up my trades. Here's what I'm going to do. It's very hard for me to walk away from these bond auctions because their history with our company is really quite amazing. Back 6 years ago, these reports were ATM machines. No joke. People were making a ton of money on these reports. They were bursting like a jobs report. But we're not seeing that anymore. So they're not ATM machines. They're pickpockets. I don't like them. All right. 1301.30. I'm putting my YM on the chart. We've got a 12 bracket, and it's a 10 to 12 bracket depending on the market. Volatility. I've got two targets. I'm looking for 15 and 25 on the targets. We haven't been getting the big moves out of this report lately. Remember, targets are not in stone. I'm going to go for 10 ticks and 25. I don't think it'll hit the 25. We just haven't been getting it. Um, our stop is 15. If it hits my first target, I'm going to do a break even minus 4. All right. Break even minus 4. So it's a breakout trade. Putting my orders on the chart at 1301.30. Thank you, Alan. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. That truly is insanity. And isn't that trading? So trading equals insanity. Okay, I kind of like that. 1301.30, bracket of 10 to 12. We'll make a final decision on the bracket. Right now, the market looks a little quiet. The YM all-time highs. It's phenomenal the way this market is going up, 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 and up. It never stops. Okay, we are going to call it YM portion of this event. All right, it's the YM portion of the event. I'm going to apply it, and I'm going to put my time at 0 just temporarily to look at the brackets. All right, when you enable a 0 trade, it calculates. Okay, it calculates our brackets. I'm not a lover of the fact that probably anywhere we would be trading this morning, it would be popping to a new high or close to it because let's face it, the market's been making new highs all morning, right? Interestingly, I don't know if you watched oil after our oil report, the magnet, it did make a very nice new high after we left. And I was testing the magnet this morning. There were quite a few set it and forget it's. When you get a day like this, where there's a lot of upward pressure, I mean, the YM has tremendous upward pressure. So you gotta, what I like is to get up early, right? I love to get up early. And it was making lows early, which is really fascinating. I like to get up early, grab a coffee, and look at how the open created the first magnet of the day. An interesting place to use magnets is around opens. I think you'll find It's going to be very rewarding at times. All right, let's double check our bracket because I've been screwing around with charts. We'll fix our brackets. The only reason I do this with the brackets is just so we can manage the trade. Now, right now, I think we'll stick with our bracket of 12. I think the market's volatile. I think that if we don't get the kind of move that we want from this report, then I might take a break for a couple of months from this report anyway. So if we can't have a 12 bracket and make some money, it means the report's not moving and it may not be valid to trade it anymore. Okay? So I'll trade the YM in my cash account. I'm willing to give it a shot. All right. And then we have our bond setup. Now let me reverse that. I'll trade the YM in Buell Knox. Okay. Because I'm hoping for a good fill today. I'm hoping for a return to the mean where this report starts to behave like a decent bond auction. It may not. It's summer. We're in, but the markets are crazy. So the markets are going wild. The markets are bullish. How many people are actually taking advantage of it? 3. Jamie Dimon, insider traders in Congress, and one other guy named Frank, who's, bought some calls and some options. Everybody else, they got out of the market when they got scared about 9 months ago. All right. Our bond setup is very simple. JOBB version 11, it's a breakout trade. We're putting our orders on the chart at 1301.30. Our bracket is 3. It's not a very big bracket. Our targets 2 ticks and 6 ticks. These are not the biggest moving reports anymore. 2, 6, they've been this way for years. We've been trading these this way. Profit target 1 is 2. Profit target 2 is 6. Our stop is 3 ticks. All right. I do not move anything on this report because it's too tight. I just leave it the way it is. And we'll see if we can manage it properly no matter what. So we're going to still do our apply. I'm going to still label it bonds, all right? I'm going to apply it. I'm going to set my time to 0 because with a bracket of 3, we want to make sure we can manage the trade, right? By looking at the brackets, put the chart on sim to check the brackets. And once price moves, then as long as I set 0, and I did, okay, there's our brackets, okay? So that's just wide enough so we can manage the trade. That's the only point. And then I'll put my time back to 1301.30. And we're ready to go. All right. Putting my correct account in, I will trade the bonds in my cash. All right. Bonds in cash. Trading ZN. See if we can get a better fill, a little bit better liquidity than ZB. Both trades triggering at 1301.30. Make sure your chart is on the correct account that you're trading so you see the orders. Bonds are on JOBB, and I have to fix my YM, which is also on JOBB. Okay? Now, it's always good to double check. You can see in the control panel what account you're on. So I can unselect my YM, go back to strategies, and just change my account. Like I said, I wanted to do it on my Buell Knox. Bingo. Apply it. You have to apply it to make the change. We've got 10 minutes. All right. Anybody have any questions about the setups? If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. It helps us out. More and more people will find out about us and they'll join our streams. All right. We're streaming a whole bunch of times every week. Just remember it's delayed, and you're best coming into the trade room and being a member if you really want to trade with us. If you're just, having fun and watching us, that's all great. But if you really want to do it seriously, you should join the trade room, okay? Become a member. Do it up. Do it right. Let's see. I wanted to find the video. So my 20-year bond, I did a backup of all my files, and my 20-year bond is the first folder that is missing some of the backup files. So I can't show last month. I have to make a note and fix this. I have to find those files. So it doesn't, let's see how far can I go back. I've got as far back as, looks like March. Yep. So we'll take a look at March. Let's see what it looked like. It's just more work to do, nonstop, never ends, all the stuff I have to do that everybody has to do in their lives. So in March, 1301.30, orders are going on the chart. We were trading with the YM. Good reminder to look at the video. 1301.30, orders go on the chart. Trading ZB in Top Step. Back then we were doing. The bond auction will almost always affect the market in a tradable way. And March was a decent move on the YM. It just missed our target. I think our target, it then hit it. So it was a nice YM trade. It's been a while since we've seen a nice move like that. And then the bonds, another just mediocre fill in the prop account with bonds. But I was having a lot of problems with Top Step back then. I'm serious. I was trading long and the trades were showing up short. I sent them emails. They wouldn't fix it. I'm going to set up a second event on my YM in case we should get filled incorrectly and we know it on the wrong side. I'm going to set up a reverse continuation one position with a 15 tick target and a 15 tick stop. Label it reverse, whatever you need to label it so you know where it is. And I'm putting it in my Buell Knox because that's where I'm trading YM. All right. Why am I doing that? So I'm creating this a possible way to get into the trade. Let's say we should get filled and we know we're filled the wrong way and we get stopped quickly. We could put a trade on in the correct direction or in the opposite direction. Okay. We had a great experience with the NOPA report using our Buell Knox account. We knew we got filled right. We immediately hit the same direction trade, and we made money in both accounts. You can be clever and make extra money, but it takes practice. It takes a little bit of work to remember what's what. So for instance, another thing you can do, if you know, let's say you get stopped out really fast on the YM, because you were filled before the news came out. And this happened a couple of months ago. There was a burst before the news. It stopped out the YM. You can uncheck the YM and check it again, and it'll redo your bracket instantly because time has passed. It'll redo your bracket instantly, and you can put the trade back on, and it's as if the trade is just restarting. So possibly you could catch the move correctly. Now, of course, keep in mind you're adding more risk because if you're trading twice, you're exposing yourself to more risk. Just be aware that of course you're creating more risk, but more risk means more profits also. If you're thinking straight and well, you can take advantage. The software has so many great features that we don't even know all of them. Don't forget to check your time sync. The pre-trade checklist is a great tool. Okay? Check your time sync by clicking time.is. It tells me my computer is in sync. I'm ready to go. All right? This is our last event for today. There is no trade room for the Australia jobs report. Why? A lot of times I will do extra testing later in the week than when the WMM is posted. Generally, the WMM gets posted Sunday morning, okay? If not Saturday. The WMM is the weekly schedule. If we do our testing, our extra testing on Mondays, and sometimes I do testing even later in the week. If I look at an event and it's really lousy, it's no point in getting everybody worked up to have a trade, exposing everyone to taking a bad trade. We have enough good trades that we don't have to do the lousy ones. Right now, the issue with Australia is it's almost impossible to determine if it's a trap trade or a breakout. In other words, one month it's a breakout, the next month it's a whipsaw. The one month, next month it's a whipsaw, the next month it's a breakout. It has not been reliable as either. It's impossible to choose which way to trade it. And when it's a breakout whipsaw, it's not a great profit opportunity. So the best thing to do on Australia jobs is just we'll keep an eye on it. When it becomes more consistent, we'll trade it again. It's just that simple. It's not that we're avoiding it forever. We're not afraid. We're just trying to trade smart. 1301.30, our orders will go on the charts. You know, I'm always thinking too much about direction. I don't like to try to choose a direction before the news, but every now and then you really want to shoot yourself for not having done it. I felt that way kind of this morning on building permits, but was actually much more aggravated about building permits by not increasing the bracket. That was more aggravating. Don't let me use any brackets of less than 12 on gold, on anything, unless you've discussed it with me out loud. In other words, building permits had a bracket of 10, and I wasn't, it really needed a bigger bracket. It really needed a bigger bracket. There's a couple of reports, there's a couple of really big reports that have small brackets because they've been performing so well that the bracket is not the issue with the trade. Sometimes the bracket can be really small on an event. And the reports I'm thinking of are ISM. ISMs generally don't need super big brackets, as volatile as that report can be. Sometimes volatile, means it's just going to be a really big move. A really big move. It doesn't always mean whippy. Sometimes volatile means a really nice move. So we don't shy away from volatility. We don't fear volatility. We don't fear the reaper either. I just need more cowbell. 1301.30, our orders go on the charts. More cowbell. Absolutely one of the funniest comedy routines in the history of humanity. Christopher Walken. You know, Christopher Walken was so good in the original Dead Zone. I don't know if anyone has seen it. Just a phenomenal, phenomenal performance. He's a great actor. 1301.30, our orders are going to go on the charts. And I'm going to keep an eye on the movement because it might be 15 or 20 seconds before the fill. All right. Because don't forget, you can press the adjust button if you have to. Now, bonds filled early, and I think that was a spurious move. I think that was a spurious move. I'm absolutely done trading bonds on this report for a couple of months. That's it. That's it. Now, I think that was the news. I think cancel. That was the news. It was a lousy move. I'm not trading the YM. There's no move. It did not move. You don't know what the right direction is. You don't know. And you've got such a bullish YM that if the right direction is long, it might be done going up. We don't know. Now, bonds are now starting. Let me remove these. You know, it was a short that failed. It was a short that failed. YM is moving down, not up. We're not getting a confirmation that short is the right direction. I'm done on this. Okay? It is what it is. I'm done with it. Turning off my YM. We're not getting a move. So that's that. And I'm really serious. I've had enough with bad bond reactions on these reports. I might still do the YM only a couple of more times to see if it'll go back to normal after the summer. I think that we'll sit out August unless no, I think there is one more FOMC statement. Let's check the schedule. There might be one more FOMC statement, or they may be done. Are they done for the summer? Somebody want to check? Is there one more FOMC statement, or are they done for the summer? Because everyone knows they're going to cut in whatchamacallit, September. Now, look, if you were smarter than me and you took a short on this, I give you all the power in the world. I'm not so sure that I saw a big enough reason for the short other than we were done testing the high. I don't think it was the bond report that's creating this activity. We know the kind of behavior we get from the bond report. We had no movement. All right, no movement. And look at bonds. I mean, right back where they were. I just don't see the point of throwing money at the market when we say it a million times. There's better reports. I'd rather trade the reports that give us a good opportunity for money. So that's what we'll do. All right. Anybody have any questions? I want to thank everybody for watching on YouTube. It's not always a great, most exciting performance. That was a pretty big move in the YM too, off of that sell-off. But you need a motivation to get in, right? And there was no bond move. There really was no bond move. All right, everybody, let's just take a quick look at the schedule. Let's take a quick look at the Fed, see what they're up to. Is it necessary to look at the video? Do you want to see the video? I mean, it just burst the wrong way and changed direction. I'll show it to you, but it was nothing out of the ordinary. Just a bad reaction. I'll show it. Let's take a look at it. I mean, I don't need to see it, but it's my job, so let's take a quick look. It doesn't hurt. Hold on, hold on, hold on. What is, let me get the right video here. Bear with me. 1 second. Maybe I can't show it. Something happened to my video, it looks like. Let's see. It's very strange. It did not record properly. I can't show it, folks. I'm sorry. Let's take a quick look at the Fed. Very nice sell-off. So, looking for the Fed. When is the next FOMC statement? There is a meeting in July, okay? Google is our friend. Now, I mean, Google's also a cesspool of bad information if you think about it. When is the next Fed meeting? June, June 12th. The federal, as well as part, the next FOMC meeting, end of July 2024. All right. So we'll have one more. I would not be surprised if they cut. I would not be surprised. Look at this. Look at that YM. Not bond related, but great reversal. Great reversal. That's the opposite of a magnet trade, right? It's the selling of the high. But look how hard. Look how many losing trades. If you were trading discretionary, look at all the times you might have tried to sell the high. Maybe you would have tried here. I mean, you had a small reversal here and it kept going up, kept going up. It reversed here finally. But it can be unbelievably difficult to sell new highs because you never know when it's going to stop making new highs. It can eat up a lot of money before you get it right. And then, of course, sometimes it tests the high once and it does a beautiful picture, storybook reversal like that. Okay, everyone, we will be here tomorrow, a little bit early for the ECB. Now, that should be interesting because there's a lot of folks that are expecting a rate cut out of the ECB. That will certainly create significant volatility possibilities. Okay. So I'll see everybody tomorrow morning at 7:45. 7:45. Okay. Thanks everyone on YouTube. I'm going to close everything out at once. Stream is over.